Put it down. She's not moving another day without it. Not while I'm here. The colony city of Veyra Spire rose in silver towers where humans and the blue-skinned Isla people lived side by side. In theory. In practice, the old wounds of the war hadn't healed, and nowhere was that clearer than in the halls of Lower District School 7. Leora Vantess arrived every morning in the same worn transport chair her father had rebuilt from scrap parts 3 times over. Her legs had been crushed in the resettlement collapse 2 years earlier, and the chair was the only thing that let her move through a world that had already decided she didn't belong in it. Her skin held the pale lavender blue of her people. Her wings, delicate, papery, and veined with faint light, folded tightly against her back, useless for flight since the accident, good now only for flinching. Every day, the same 3 boys, led by a broad-shouldered human named Rennick Dale, waited by the courtyard gate. Every day, they grabbed the handles of her chair and wheeled it away, laughing, leaving her stranded on the cold marble floor, dragging herself with her arms while other students looked away. Corwin Ashby had watched it happen for weeks. He was new to the district, quiet, the kind of boy who kept his head down and his opinions to himself. But on the 9th day, when Rennick shoved the chair into a supply closet and locked it, Corwin didn't look away. He walked straight past Rennick, knelt down in front of Leora, and said the only thing that came to mind. "I've got you." She stared at him, startled. Her luminous violet eyes rimmed with humiliated tears. "You don't have to." "I know," he said. Then he lifted her into his arms. That was the first day he carried her home. It became a pattern neither of them had planned. The bullies escalated, hiding the chair in the reservoir, tossing it off the transit platform, and once even reporting it confiscated to the district officers as a joke. Each time Corwin found her. Each time, he carried her through the courtyard, down the long marble corridor, past students who stared and whispered, human and alien. Like it was a scandal instead of a friendship, Leora begged him to stop. "They'll turn on you too," she warned one evening, her voice tight with fear as he set her down on her porch step. "I don't want you hurt because of me." "You're not going to make me leave," Corwin said simply. "I don't care what they call it." Weeks passed. The friendship deepened into something neither of them had words for yet. Not romance, but a fierce, unshakable loyalty, the kind that forms between 2 people who refuse to let the world isolate them. Corwin learned the Isla hand signs for gratitude. Leora taught him to read the drifting lights of her home world's night sky, still visible faintly over the spire. He started walking her to school every morning so the chair was never left alone. Then came the day everything changed. A diplomatic incident rocked the colony. A transport malfunction in the outer ring left dozens of Isla families stranded and injured, Leora's own cousin among them. The district ordered an emergency evacuation through the central atrium, the massive glass-domed corridor that connected the human sector to the Isla quarter. The same corridor where, months earlier, Rennick's gang had first humiliated her in front of a crowd. This time, the corridor was lined with soldiers, colony officials, and families from both sides, watching the wounded being carried through. Leora's new chair, a proper motorized one finally issued by the colony council after her father's petitions, had been damaged in the transport crash. Its wheel was crushed, its light ring flickering dead. She sat stranded again, exactly where she'd been stranded so many times before, and exactly like before, Corwin came through the crowd, knelt, and lifted her into his arms. But this time was different. This time, the entire corridor went silent. Rennick Dale stood among the onlookers, and for the first time, he didn't laugh. He stepped forward instead, took the broken chair by its handles, and pushed it alongside them. Not to steal it, but to help carry it through, his jaw tight with something that looked almost like shame. Soldiers straightened as they passed. Officials lowered their heads in quiet respect. Through the glass dome above, the towers of Veyra Spire caught the morning light as though the whole city was watching this one boy refuse, one more time, to put her down. When they reached the medical wing, Corwin gently set Leora onto a proper bed, her wings settling against the white sheets. She caught his sleeve before he could step back. "You carried me through the worst day of my life," she whispered. "And the best one. Both times it was you." "It'll always be me," Corwin said. "That's not a promise I'm taking back." By the following season, the Colony Council passed the Accessibility Charter for Youth, bringing new chairs, new ramps, and new laws protecting students like Leora from exactly what she'd endured. Rennick, of all people, stood beside Corwin at the signing, quiet and changed. Leora's new chair gleamed silver and blue, built to her exact measurements, with a small crystal engraving on the headrest. For the ones who carried her. She never needed carrying again after that. Not because Corwin stopped offering, but because she never had to ask twice, and the city never let her fall again. Some friendships are built in comfort. Theirs was built in every hallway where no one else would look, and it never broke. Long after the towers of Veyra Spire had seen other stories rise and fade, this one remained. A boy who carried her, and a girl who never had to be carried alone.